Good morning and welcome. Happy Sunday. Yep, running late. Let me grab a drink here. Just one of those days. So, hopefully those of you who've been watching for me will catch up here. There's Abigail. Good morning. You're the first one who's checking in. We'll give it a minute. Let everybody find me. And yeah, just running late this morning. One of those days. So, but we have some interesting stuff today because yesterday I did a deep dive into, I don't even know what heading I would put on it. Good morning, Barb. Welcome. Glad you're here. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, don't know what I would call that dive I did yesterday. But it was very much the same thing that Rhonda Byrne said in The Secret. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome, welcome. Which was, you go looking for one thing and you end up finding all this other stuff. So yesterday was one of those days. So I ended up with everything from soup to nuts, as they say. But partway through, it started formulating in my brain that these were the messages for today to deliver to you. So these are coming from various videos I watched, YouTube videos, looking at websites, etc., etc. And I'm trying to remember what actually was the key point that led me in. I think it was something, good morning, Carolyn, welcome, glad you're here, about astronomy, not astrology, but astronomy, and led me down this rabbit hole to all these various things, including some astrological readers, etc., some psychics, a myriad of folks, let's put it that way. And things began to fall into place in terms of a common message. So I thought, well, that must be what I am meant to deliver today. And so the title I picked out of all of the things that I was watching, and there's a teacher from Canada that I watch on Instagram also, and she just was having a very strong reaction to one of the negative events that happened. And so that kind of led to the title for today's, which is Summon Legions of Light. Summon Legions of Light. Earlier in whatever I was watching at that time, there was Summon the Light. We have powers to summon greater than the dark side has. So the light side has more powers to summon. But the point this person was making is that we don't use them. We don't call in the light. We don't summon the light. So, and then at one point she said, summon legions of light. There's great power there. Summon legions of light. So let's rub our hands together, shall we? And just turn them up. And set the intention that as we're talking, as we're sharing some of these words, as hopefully some of you are either writing them down or putting them in our feed, that we are summoning the light. We are summoning the light. One of the people was talking about building a resilient and strong nervous system. And it kind of goes back to the Tony Robbins things of difficult times breed strong people, and easy times breed weak people. So here we are in difficult times. We need to build resilient and strong nervous systems. So how do we manage whatever's coming our way? How do we turn and face whatever's coming our way? Setting the energy, summoning in the light. And again, I've been seeing this image over and over and over again. Yes, we are here to summon the light. We chose to be here. If you follow the Carolyn Meese idea of sacred contracts, we chose to be here now. So if we are here now, let's do our work. Let's do our work. So you can just keep summoning if you wish. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. Welcome. So one of the things that one of the people I listened to yesterday said is, every day intentionally power up yourselves. Power up yourselves. So you could just rub your hands together and scan your entire body. You could brush off the night. You could energize your heart. Good morning. So glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. You can energize your heart. You can focus on your heart and soul. There's a part in here where we're going to talk about focus also. But powering up your cells every day. Think about that. So then you go out into the world, or you stay home, whatever you're doing that day, an energized being. An energized being. Yes, summon the light, summon legions of light. I think the word legions to me implies just how much help and support is there if we call it in. Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. And one of the people, and that wasn't from yesterday, that was from earlier. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate you putting that in there. Talked about, hang on a second, let me grab it again. There's a common belief amongst humans that unless we call in the help, they can't help us. And I know I've said that because, of course, I read it somewhere, right? She challenged that. She said, no, think about it. There are those near accidents when something horrible almost happens and the people feel like there's some kind of divine intervention. Maybe they can help even when we don't ask. But let's ask anyway, right? Okay. So we're summoning in the light. We're powering up our cells every day. We're calling in the angels, the archangels, the ancestors, whoever comes to mind, call them in. Then one of the people I listened to yesterday, and this so chimed for me, and I bet you Nickel's going to chime for a bunch of you also, was talking about our light body, that the light is within us as well, our light body and our carbon body. I like that. I've called it our earthly vehicle, what moves our head around this earth. But our light body within our carbon body. And she differentiated that our light body is just that, light. Not just light in terms of bright, but light in terms of density and weight. It is light. And our carbon body, I don't know how many of you have felt this, but I certainly have felt this, like I'm slogging around this earth in this heavy vehicle. It feels like a Humvee instead of a Yugo. It's just dense, right? And she said, and I thought this makes total sense, our carbon bodies need to be dense in order to be here. How do you stay grounded on Mother Earth? Yes, there's gravity, but in order to be here, we need these dense vehicles. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. That makes sense. That makes sense. Much more pleasant being in our light body, but this is the vehicle we need for moving around this type of terrain. One of them also talked about nature as our teacher. And I love that idea, nature as our teacher. And how have we been treating our teacher? Do we even go visit our teacher? That teacher, nature, saying, come sit with me. Come sit with me. Not necessarily saying, go on a 12-mile hike over the top of me. Come sit with me. Be. That distinction between the doing that we do. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. The doing versus the being present, noticing, listening with a keen ear. Again, I'm just for the first time reading the Lord of the Rings series, and I'm on the Fellowship of the Rings, and they're just at a part where they're beginning on their journey, and the dark figures on the horses are periodically crossing their path, and the listening that they do. And you can tell that they're listening with more than their physical ear. They're listening with their intuitive ear. Come sit with me, says nature. Come sit with me. Yes. So, loved that idea. The other part was, and this mirrors the card that we had, what day was that? I believe it was the 5 of Pentacles, but I can't remember which day it was. But the image was someone sitting there with their head in their hands. Outside the locked door, you can see the keyhole, and there sits the key. But because her head is in her hands, She can't see the key. So one of the psychics I was watching yesterday pulled a card from her own deck that was very similar. It was a guy sitting in a prison cell and looking down. The light is streaming in the window beside him, and the key is sitting right there. But he can't see it because he's got his head down. So the verbiage that came with that was, don't fixate on what can't be done. Look up, see the light. Don't fixate on what can't be done. Same way, don't fixate on what all is wrong. Don't steep yourself in the terrible things that are happening. Don't turn your eyes to the accident, right? No rubbernecking. No rubbernecking. Pay attention to the light. Look up. Make a conscious effort. And the sun can be our representation for this, or a light in your house, whatever. But take the time to consciously look at the light. That I've got that still on my computer. Be the light. Be the light. So think about this. It's all one, right? It's all one. So we are the light. But fixate on the light. Fixate on the light. Head in that direction. You have peripheral vision. You can see what's going on beside, but you don't need to give it any mind. Keep going toward the light. Keep going toward the light. Bring others with you toward the light. I think that's going to be important too. So like doing this every day is talking about the light, hopefully, and bringing others along on our path to the light. We are the light. The light is within. So even though we continue forward, we also have it all around us. Let's pay attention. Let's lift our heads up. Let's see the light. So those are some of the things that I gleaned from the deep dive that I did yesterday into there has to be more than this. There has to be more than this. And I loved all of these pieces that sort of jumped at me. I hope they're helpful to you. Maybe they also send you on your own journey exploring things. What do I want to know? What if I Google Legions of Light? What comes up, right? See what happens. Notice. Be present. So today I actually have 2 opportunities to connect with people. One is a listening session at one of the churches that we're helping, and the other one is connecting with my beloved Goal Crushers group who came out of one of my very first Tony Robbins events. And so spending time with people who get it, spending time with people who have hopes and aspirations and the desire to do good and are radiating the light. Spend time with those people. All right? Have an awesome Sunday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, including consciously summoning the light. Bye-bye.